Hi and welcome, Ollie here at the Crafty Whisk. I'm so glad you're here with me today. We're following on today with our gift cards, and today we're doing pop-ups. But the video is so long, I've broken it into 3 parts. Today we're doing this one, which is an all-in-one card. And all 3 versions will fit into an ordinary envelope. I've made sure of that for you. So this one is all in one. And then the next video, part 2, is adaptable for any sort of card. So your standard side fold and your standard top fold also fits into a normal envelope. And then part 3, which is my favourite, is a real 3D pop-up. I love this one, but you've got to wait for part 3 for that one. Isn't that cool? All right, enough of gawking at that one. That one's part 3. I said enough gawking at that one, Ollie. Come on. Yes, we know it fits. Put that one away. Let's get started on this one. Rightio, so this one mainly uses just one sheet of paper or cardstock. Use at least a 285 GSM, preferably a 300 if you can, but most of the scrapbooking, the thicker ones, are about a 285 GSM. So we start off with a base card of 11 inches by 4 inches, and we're going to score that at 4 inches, 5.5 inches and 7 inches. Now you can use a small scoreboard like this, or if you have a bigger scoreboard that goes up past the 5 inch or the 6 inch mark, then you can drag that one out and do your 7 inches on that. Later on, when I do another example, I will show you how to use a small scoreboard. But for those of us that do have the larger scoreboard, it's very easy just to go up to your 7 inches on the larger scoreboard. So you don't want to use your flimsy scrapbooking paper with this. You do need the thicker stuff because it is a card, essentially. So this is how you use the smaller scoreboard, but I will go through it a bit more in depth later on in the video. So we have to do a mountain and 2 valleys with the fold. So the mountain fold has to go into the center of the card, and then the 2 valleys are the outside of the card. So the big mountain is what forms the gift card section in the center of the card there. And then we need to secure it very strongly with either glue or double-sided tape. But the double-sided tape needs to be a very strong double-sided tape, so I do suggest using the red liner tape, which is the strongest one out there at the moment. And we only go along the edge, along the side, and along the bottom edge where the score line is on the valley fold that we did. And we don't go any further in because that's where the gift card is going to go. So you can't really see it there, but I'm going along where the score line is. It's a bit hard to see with the pattern paper. But you can also use a very strong liquid glue as well. So then you just fold the card back together again. And there you've got the two valley folds secured, and you've got your mountain fold still in the centre there. And now we need to cut out the section where the gift card is going to go. You can either use your craft knife or you can use a die. Now the die I use is just a generic sentiment strip die, but I'll explain to you how to use the craft knife. So you need a metal edged ruler, and we get to do some measuring here. We need to measure in 1/4 inch from each edge of the card and down to a depth of 5/16 of an inch or 8 millimeters approximately. And then we just cut along the long line there carefully. And this is why you need a metal edged ruler, because sometimes the knife can cut into your plastic rulers. And you can just use scissors to cut away those two little bits rather than the craft knife if you prefer. I tend to just use scissors most of the time for those little bits. And that forms your little gift card pocket. And it does sit very securely in there because we use the red liner tape or strong adhesive glue. So that's the basic card actually done. Really, really simple. And now we just need to do the lid, because we're actually using or making this one into like a gift box style. So the lid itself measures out of the same cardstock or paper. The lid is 4 1/4 inches by 3 inches, and we score it at 1 1/2 inches on the 3-inch side. So effectively we're scoring it in half. And that's going to form a little gift box lid, like so. Now there's all different ways you can actually secure this closed. I've seen many, many ways on YouTube to do it. They use brads, they use Velcro dots, all sorts of things. The easiest way I've found, where you don't have to use little things that can get stuck in children's mouths and all sorts of calamities, is simply to actually adhere the actual lid to the back of the card and then slip the front of the card underneath. And that way you're not, making it too hard on yourself either. It's actually so simple. You just got to use a line of adhesive, whether it's glue, double-sided tape, or tape runner, along the top of the card. Slip that onto the bottom, say 1/2 to 1/3 of the lid, and then secure the top section of that lid down on itself to where it meets the card. You don't want to go down too far, only to where it meets the card. You do need strong adhesive here, so red liner tape and or glue. but it does need to be strong. Otherwise, you have the potential to rip the card if you're going to open and close it a lot, which technically you're not going to because it is a gift card, so it's really only going to be used once. And then you close the lid over, and that's your closing mechanism. Then all you need to do is gently just pop the front of the card underneath and it's closed. Much easier than a Velcro dot, a brad, magnet. That's what I think anyway. I don't know why no one else has really thought of that. Now the bows we made in a previous video, I've used again here. So you don't need a fancy die, you can do it yourself. And I'll link to that video up in the top corner. And then all I thought we could do to finish this off is just simply attach a tag. This paper and the tag come from a paper kit out of Uniquely Creative, an Australian company. And it's very nice quality paper. I've just gone around the edge of the tag and the string with a little bit of distress ink, just to give it a bit of a vintagey feel. And the colour of that is walnut stain. But you can use any colour. I find any of the dark brown colours are really, really good. Vintage Photo is another good one. And then I just attach that with a little bit of glue and then attach the bow on top with a bit more glue. You don't really need anything fancy here. It's the first time I'm using the glue today, so a bit of a pin down the opening just loosens off any glue that might have gotten stuck in there from yesterday. And there you go. All done. Really, really simple and effective. And I've done this one in a Christmas theme. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be for any occasion at all. It can be thank you, birthday, get well, new baby, anything. And really effective. So that was an undecorated version. I'm going to show you a decorated version now. And this one's not in the shape of a gift box, so it's just an ordinary shape. So it's the same principle. The base card is 11 inches by 4 inches again. Scored the same measurements, 4 inches, 5.5 inches, and 7 inches. I've kept the measurements the same. And a mountain fold in the centre. And then we're going to do 2 valley folds. This time I'm using ordinary cardstock, which is 300 GSM. Or roughly 100 to 110 pounds. Using glue this time. Remember, only go along the side edges and to the bottom of that score line. Otherwise your gift card will not fit. Give it a good burnish. And this time I'm going to show you how to use the die. Now there's plenty of sentiment strip dies out there. This one's just a generic one. I cannot remember where I got it from. There's plenty of companies that sell them. I think this one might have been from Amazon. We're only going to put the die halfway up the die. So the die will be sitting halfway off the cardstock. And you still need to leave around about 1/4 of an inch on either side. So you saw that I measured that my gift card does fit within that die. And you see there that I have put it half on and half off the cardstock. So it's just that little bit quicker if you have your die cutting machine handy. And a bit of a neater result if you're not too handy with your craft knife. But the end result is exactly the same. And there you go. So now it's just a matter of decorating the card. And you can decorate it however you want to. This time, because I'm using a normal card, I've got a piece of white which needs to go in the centre. And I'm trialling again a new tape runner. This one's the Air Tombow. And remember, do not use glue to stick down the white in the middle because it's hard to write on glue. And there's the pattern paper measurements I've got for you. So the white inside is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I've got the front measurements there for you as well for what I've used for this particular card. I have got them so they sit very close to the edge. You don't have to have them sitting this close to the edge if you don't want to. Normally I have 1/4 of an inch. This time I've only got 1/8 of an inch. It was just the look I was going for with this particular one. And normally I tend to use glue because I've got it handy, but I was testing out this particular tape runner. And I must admit, it's not too bad at the moment. Very easy to use. And you can reposition it like I had to there. Some of them will just grab instantly and you can't reposition them at all. But I'll have to see if it sticks long term, which is one thing I've noticed with the Japanese one, the Kakai, I can't pronounce it. It doesn't tend to stick as well long term as some of the other ones, so I'm not overly happy with that one. Which is a shame because I bought a 3-pack of refills for it as well because there was a deal going. Oh well. So this one I've made a Christmas one as well. Actually, I think all of these ones I made Christmas ones purely by accident. I try not to make all of them Christmas, but my mother-in-law wants to have Christmas ones for the grandchildren, so I think I just sort of went a bit Christmas happy. All right, last one. Same measurements again, but I'm showing you how to do it on the small one. So 11 inches by 4 inches for the base card, scoring at 4 inches, and then 5.5. And then we're turning it around and scoring it again at the 4 inches. So that's how you do it on the small scoreboard. Again, folding it at that center score line for the mountain fold. And then the 2 valley folds. Nice and easy. And again, just the gluing again, remember the side edge and the bottom edge so that your gift card fits. The glue really does make it very simple and quick. You just got to remember not to come in too far on those side edges or the gift card will not fit. I'm just going to show you the ruler measurements again, because most people will just use the ruler. So it's measuring in 1/4 inch from each side and then measure down about 8 millimeters. And then where that dot is, you just cut the line from one dot to the other. I find it quicker than just dragging out the die cutting machine. I only have a small work area, so by the time I've dragged the die cutting machine over, I've already done the cut. Then just with the scissors, go up to that cut line. And boom, done. There you go. And again, that piece of white, again, tape runner, not glue. Let me know if any of you have actually tried to write on a piece of card that has been glued down. And if you haven't tried, give it a try. It's not easy. All right, the pattern paper on the front is the same measurement if you're going with the standard, which is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. This glitter paper, I love it. It's from a paper pad. Oh, it's gone out of my head. Glitzy Paper Pack by DCWV, I think it was. Fantastic. It is so thin and so usable. And the little Santa is from Mama Elephant Stamps called Secret Santa. Really, really cool to use. Very easy to colour, like all the Mama Elephant range. Very quick. And I've just used some silver paper from Spotlight. Very sparkly. So I've just backed it with some red behind just to make Santa pop. Very, very quick and easy this one was to put together. Just with some nesting circle dies that I had. These ones are from Waffle Flower, but pretty much every company out there has them. And the scallop ones were from Uniquely Creative. But again, a lot of companies have the scallop nesting sets as well. But Uniquely Creative are a really good price point for us here in Australia. Because for us to buy the American ones, after we've paid for the shipping to come out to here, it really blows us out of the water from a price point. And I thought I might just pop him up on some double-sided foam because I liked how that looked a little bit better with the silver against the sparkles. I thought this one would actually make a really nice, like a family Kris Kringle kind of a thing as well. There you go. I love this one. I think it's my favourite. I think it's the blue sparkly paper. I love it. And it's not as hard as I'm making it look there to put in. There you go. Let me know in the comments what you think. This one is so easy in the pop-up world. So easy to do. There you go. I did 3 cards in half an hour. Boom. Let me know what you think. I'll give you a sneak preview of part 2 now. This is part 2. Coming soon. I'll catch you in part 2. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. See you next time.